Hi, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, perhaps. It's lovely to see you all here today. And today I am super excited because I finally get to introduce all of you to Sabrina Agius, who is a friend, a colleague, and a role model as an agent of change. Now, Sabrina and I have known each other for about 2 years now, and she's just one of those people that I connected with immediately. Her energy, her strong core values, and her vision. And funnily enough, that's what we're going to talk about today. So, Sabrina's vision as we launch the Green Vision Summit and Expo, which is the 30th to April to the 2nd of May 2024. It doesn't actually sound that long away now, Sabrina, as we've been talking about this for quite a while. But I never feel I could really do Sabrina justice when I introduce her. So I'm actually going to ask you, Sabrina, to introduce yourself, because your job title is CEO of GSC Technologies, but there's so much more to you than just one title. And I'd love to give you the space to share with our audience a bit about who the feeling of who you are.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for this kind introduction. And of course, the feeling here is mutual. You've been a person that has been here more than 2 years. But who am I? Um, I am me. I feel that I am this simple person with a past, and I since a young age I've been a voice for justice, for the environment, and this has been tagging with me all along. I was a journalist for quite a long time, and my focus was just that. I wanted to be the voice of the voiceless, and this is why my job was my passion, right? So then I went into different sectors, marketing. I've worked with NGOs, I've worked within the iGaming industry, and I've worked within government here in Malta. I've worked with two different ministries, under the Ministry for the Environment and under the Ministry for tourism. So, but you grow and you learn in life, and you feel like there's something missing. So I always wanted to do something that maybe is crazy. Uh, when we grow, when we're growing, people tell you, you're crazy, you're sensitive, you're this, you're that. We're given these labels, and when I was younger, I used to take it so personal, and I used to be offended. Nowadays, though, I look back at this and I do acknowledge that yes, I am sensitive and yes, I am crazy, because but it's good crazy, because if I wasn't any of those things, if I didn't take risk in my life, we wouldn't be launching this event today. So this is who I am. I am a person that is passionate. I am a person that wants to bring change in this world, and not just in my country of origin, that's Malta. And if you're not crazy, if you're not sensitive, and if you're not sensible, you cannot do any of these things. So this is me, and I thank you for being here, and for joining us in getting to know better what this green vision is all about.
Yeah, I already hear your passion coming through, and obviously your passion is part of what we're talking about today. But as we launch the Green Vision Expo and Summit for 2024, how are you feeling? Why is this important to you?
I feel satisfied. This is an important milestone. It's been coming. We've been working hard for this for quite some time now. So launching it in this humble way is important to me, because this reflects exactly who I am and what the values of my company, of GSC Technologies, are. So I feel good. Of course, I'm excited because it's the first time that we're publicly sharing what we've been working on during the past years. So, of course, I'm quite keen to do that.
Quite exciting. Yeah, definitely. So come on, tell us, what is driving you to create a more sustainable and, as I see it, a kinder future for our planet? Because I almost see it that you're investing in humanity.
The thing is this, Sarah, that I mean, look at our surroundings. Even those that are listening to this podcast, right? We come from different countries. There are people from Norway, from Singapore, from the UK, from Ghana. So we're hitting different parts of the world,
Yeah.
and we all are coming from somewhere. I'm coming from Malta, and I deeply love my country, and I feel that, and my country is my driving force. Why? we we see injustices every day. We speak about technology, we speak about the future, we hear leaders talking passionately about sustainability and how much they love their country, their people, and they want to do better things. Reality, though, is completely different when you're on the ground. The difficulty with leadership, unfortunately, is that leaders speak, but then their people and they themselves are not on the ground. So, whatever they're preaching about completely does not resonate with what's going on in reality. And this is the driving force. Malta is a beautiful country. We pride ourselves to be a Catholic country. We pride ourselves to be givers. We pride ourselves to open our arms to everybody. But then we see buildings all over. We barely have any land left. We see people in the streets. This is something new to us. It's a very recent phenomenon. The first time I saw someone was last year, and I went to my car and I cried. Even now, I get emotional about it because how can any leader be proud of these things? So, these are the driving forces that led me and kept pushing me against all odds to feel green vision and keep it going.
Yeah, always that key tie back to humanity, back to how we're showing up in the world, and this gap that you and I often talk about, which is between intention and the amazing words that come out of people's mouths and actually the action that we're taking to make that into a reality. That's kind of the gap, the marketing gap, if you want to call it. But
Yes.
you're putting in so much time and energy and commitment into this event, and you've been through so much. I can't even start to explain to anyone who's listening what Sabrina's been through in the last 3 years to bring this vision into a reality, to start these wheels in motion. So come on, tell us, how do you stay positive and focused in amongst all these kind of different inputs and so much almost resistance to what you've been trying to achieve?
I think the answer to this, Sarah, is easy. It's the purpose. It's the goal. So yes, I've been through hell and back in these years. It's and the resistance that we found from companies, from governments, from individuals, it's been endless. But I keep focused on what I want out of this. The thing is this, Sarah, that we talk about progress, we speak about technology, and it's all good. But how can we leave behind humanity? How can we leave behind the purpose of investing in people? We can invest in the best technology in the world. We can have the best and most technological city in the world. But if we are lacking humanity, if there is a person in the street and has no food and we shy away from that, then we are not being real with ourselves. And there are big countries in the world. There are countries that are, far ahead than Malta. But if they see someone dying in the street, that person is left there and no one cares. So, how can we speak about progress when we have these things happening around us? How can we be proud as people, irrespective of where we are in the world, and let people in mere conditions, even at their place of work. How can we be proud to support injustice at the place of work? How can we support companies that are mistreating workers? This is this is my drive, Sarah.
Yeah, no, it's coming through loud and clear. Your purpose uh, to create equality in the true sense of the word, and actually enable people to create that future vision. It's not just about obviously holding people accountable. It's actually showing them a better future, and helping them engage and enable to create that. So, you just spoke about pride. I wonder, what is it that you're most proud of achieving?
Well, this might be, random, but building green vision has been a tough mission. It's been nearly impossible. We've had so many people on board. So, my reply to you is that I am proud of my team. I am proud of the people that have accepted me, who I am, and how I am, and individuals that have the same values, as it's not easy, you know it's not easy to stick to your guns and drive this purpose and make it happen. So I am very proud to have built a team that has values. And the reason why I'm saying this is because that when they're dealing with our clients, uh, they're dealing with people and they're doing it in the most decent of ways. And I know that the way they're behaving out there reflects me, my values, and GSC.
Yeah, creating that coherence in a diverse team, enabling people to shine is obviously a big part of what you were just saying in the previous answer. Actually, interestingly, so I'd like you to kind of elaborate a little bit as to, obviously you're based in Malta, which is why Malta's a great starting point. But why else is Malta a great starting point, and why is your event different to the thousands of sustainability events that we see all around the world?
Well, Malta is the most imperfect of places in the world, right? We have uh, a lot of things going on. We're small, but we can be an example to the world. There are big countries out there that right now they have decided to be out of COP28, right? And these are countries that are emitting the most emissions. And that's okay, it's fine. But what are you going to do to compensate for that? So why Malta? First of all, Malta is in the middle of the Mediterranean. We are a country that's neutral. We are in a position where we can connect everybody from Asia to the Gulf region to Africa and to Europe. So, Malta is a very good place to make things happen. Of course, I would like to attract investment to my country. I would like to offer an opportunity to our people because the opportunities are there. And this is why Malta, because we can do it.
Mm.
And you have the big countries that have the money and they're still not doing the right thing. They make pledges and they're not following them. So I want my country to be a leader in this and to show them that, listen, you guys, you countries are doing so much harm than we are doing. But we are deciding to do the right thing with the help of professionals, of other countries that are doing the right thing, of companies that are investing in the right ways. So,
It's
yeah.
interesting. You're bringing out the point, which obviously we will kind of come on to as we go through, about collaboration and co-creation. Actually, that Malta kind of like fuses these elements together quite nicely because of your situation on the map, but also because of the ties and the ability to create change quite quickly within a smaller environment, to be able to then obviously uh, build it up into a much bigger more global force. So, why is your event, why is GSE like creating the Green Vision Summit and Expo? What's going to be different about it? What can people expect?
The thing is this: the world lacks leadership. We have a lot of people out there that really know how to talk. And we want to lead by example. We cannot build a product, we cannot have an event where we're not leading by example. And this is the main difference between Green Vision and whatever is out there, right? We want to hold our speakers accountable for what they're going to pledge during our summit. The summit is built in a way where we want to direct leaders, companies, NGOs to work together. There's resistance out there for collaboration. And I know because I've lived it throughout these years. Uh, these words like collaboration, co creation are overly used but not practiced. And this is happening because individuals, owner of companies, fear competition. They fear that they're going to make less money. Collaboration and co creation is not about that. It's literally having the same beliefs and going forward and find a way to move forward together. So, how is GSC doing this? First and foremost, we're going to control our own emissions. We've spoken to all our suppliers, including the venue, to start having a green vision themselves, to start at least having a strategy put in place of how to be better. Not only in terms of emissions, of course, but in the way of how the company is led. So, in fact, we have invested in a green policy. So, everybody attending Green Vision, whether it's a sponsor, up to the visitor, up to the stall that's going to be, we have put effort in all of this because we cannot preach about a green vision and not even having a green policy, right? So again, when it comes to the speakers, we want to monitor whatever is being said purposely because we don't want to be that event where we speak but action is not followed. So
Yeah. So, I mean, this kind of leads on to who is it you're actually inviting to attend the Green Vision Expo and Summit?
well, I think we're an open platform. We are inviting all those that are ready to do right by the planet. That is what is important to us. So there are companies, individuals, and countries that are already walking the talk, right? So those are important to have on board. Then there are others that are lost. And do we blame them for being lost? I don't, because there's so much going on in the world and there's no real direction. So, yes, we are inviting those to come on board because on our platform, they will find the right expertise to support them. Then there are others that need this change. So we are inviting all those that want action to happen
Mm.
because, um, you can think that. Let me give you a practical example, right? I wanted to lose weight like for quite a while, but I wasn't doing anything about it. So how can I lose weight or lose fat, whatever, it can be, and I'm not doing anything about it. So I had to take action, either speak to a nutritionist or book a gym. And this is the same thing.
Yeah. So you're helping bridge that gap between people that have got great intentions to actually helping them take action. And obviously, you're aiming to bring together different parts of society to collaborate, exchange, co create solutions at the summit. But
Yes.
kind of go into a bit more detail. Why is this important?
Sarah, along the way, I've met researchers, which is research is crucial to all of this because without research, there isn't innovation. I've met business people and governments. And the thing is this that everybody wants to work in silos, and it doesn't work that way. We need one another to succeed. We need one another to make things happen. Because if we speak about sustainability, if we speak about change, if we speak about things that need to happen, but yet there's resistance on how we're going to do things, then there is a problem. And on Green Vision, on our platform, we want to find solutions. We want to find a way forward because we can coexist. We can work together. And all this is important not for the scientist, not for the professor, and neither for, for that person that is a leader. This is needed for our population. This is needed for our people because the gap is here that when we speak about these things, okay, documents are written, policies are made. But how is this being received by the man on the street? How is this being received by the student? How is this being received by the housewife, by the farmer? And this is why we're opening our platform to the general public, because we believe that the general public should be a part of this, even if they do not necessarily understand everything. But at
Yeah.
least this would be the first time that they are given an opportunity to be part of it. And this is how we want to bridge the gap. I
Yeah,
think
you
this is.
talked about the gap and the sort of like the almost like the greenwashing gap between like businesses and also what's actually happening on the ground. And you're talking about moving us into meaningful action. But I guess the crux of it is, how's your event going to help businesses and organizations move away from just the good intentions and really take positive action?
Greenwashing is a thing, and it's becoming tiring, really, because it's tiring because I do understand that, of course, companies want to show that they want to do the right thing, but that can translate into misinformation, which I believe is a great injustice, especially if we want to bridge that gap. And what your question is really important because this is where GSC technologies and green vision are leading by example. This is why we created the green policy. Why? Because it's through action that we can help the people and businesses coming to do the right thing. And this is the reason why our platform is bridging the gap between, uh, you know, can I do this to I want to do this? And we're going to have the right professionals on board to make that happen.
It's
And
interesting you say this actually, because often it is the gap between I want to do this, but I don't actually know how, and I don't know where to start, and I don't know who to ask where I start because people are put into head of sustainability roles, and yet they're not actually sure as to what the levers are to pull, how to create that change. And so you're trying to bridge that gap and support people, and this is obviously why you and I are totally aligned that co-creation and collaboration is the way forward to share, to enable one another, to share best practices, to share what's actually going right as much as what's not. But sustainability is such a huge and a diverse topic. Your program for 2024 focuses on like three key themes as I see it. You've got humanity, you've got technology, and you've got the future. So
yeah,
how does this align with your key values, and why do you see this as fundamental to creating a more sustainable future for life on Earth?
we usually tend to tackle each topic separately: humanity, technology, and the future. What we tend to forget that all these three coexist and they have to work together.
Yeah.
So the summit agenda is built in a way that will translate this into action through our speakers. We're focusing on these coming topics. One of them is energy. There's the renewable energy and there's fossil fuels. What's the way forward in this sector? Then there's food security and water. Again, lack of land and lack of food. This is important because it's vital to us. We need energy for our daily needs. Then there is impact investment. impact investment is crucial in this case because we know that generally investment companies invest in what brings them more money. How is this going to change? Are we going to keep investing in that, or is it time to change that? Sustainable tourism. Our country is based on one of its economic baselines is tourism. What is the importance of sustainable tourism? What does it even mean? And then there's hope. Hope is crucial because the world needs it and we all need it. And we have speakers in every section of the summit that will keep in line humanity, technology, and the future. So every topic that will be discussed will have the same baseline.
Yeah. I
Separately
mean,
from,
I was just gonna say that, like, obviously everything that we talk about is like this core value of humanity because it comes up so strongly with you and is so visible in the values that you hold. But what is it about the fundamental grounding in humanity that's so important for for the summit?
Sarah, there's no world without humans. And you can have the best company in the world, but how proud would you be as a leader if your employees want to leave your company, if citizens want to leave your country? I think that speaks volumes. And this is what we have to think about. We
Mm.
always have to think about people. People are not numbers. And consumerism has at us from the inside. We've created products that we don't even need. We we do the impossible to make people buy things that they don't really need. You know, we have all these commodities, and yet people are lonely, yet people are sad. Yet people think that they can become rich overnight because of social media. And this has to change because that is not reality. Reality is completely different. So we have to look at these challenges and see what we're doing wrong. How can we speak about happiness when there's so many mental health issues, when where there's so many suicides and these pass unnoticed? We speak about emancipation, yet women are left behind. So what is reality? And humanity is about that. I want to be the type of leader that I look in the mirror every day. I hate the mirror, mind you, so I won't do it. But I want to be proud that my employees are happy, that they're not scared to come and speak to me and tell me, listen, Sab, this can be done in this way.
Yeah,
And
totally.
this is not about it's about giving space. So we need to invest in our youths and in our innovators and give them the space. That is how we make people hopeful and give them an opportunity.
Yeah, we enable people to be the best form of themselves, to contribute in the way that they can. And this is obviously the area you and I completely align on is, human leadership. You can call
Yes.
it one of it, and any number of things is if we're going to connect with people and engage them in what they're doing, it's about how we do it, not about, you all the detail and the numbers and the statistics and the bottom line, because otherwise we don't get people showing up. But perhaps we kind of shift gear a little bit onto, you've talked a lot about the kind of change that you want to create and this kind of shared future vision. But what's the one change that you believe would need to happen to enable more people to engage and to take action towards creating this kind of future vision?
It's individual responsibility.
Mm.
We have to take responsibility and own it. I cannot look at you, Sarah, and say, nah, it's not my job to educate people. You know, there's Sarah to do that. No, it is up to every one of us. When we're walking in the street, up to being at home. You know, A household is made of parents and children. It is up to them of how they want to their family to function, right? Ultimately, Sarah, we're all leaders, starting from the home.
Yeah.
If you let your son or daughter with no discipline whatsoever, you wouldn't know what their future is going to be. You can discipline them, and you still can not know what their future is going to be, but at least you would know that you tried to implement some sense of ownership and a sense of being that this is right and this is wrong. Now imagine that context on a village or on a city. The leader has more responsibility. If you put that on a country, imagine what the responsibility is. And same goes for the whole world. So each and every one of us is responsible towards this change, but it is up to the bigger leaders to educate each and every one of us.
Yeah. So
So,
going on that track, how do we bring these people together with this responsibility, with the power, if you want, to make these changes? What are the kind of things we can do?
well, I first and foremost we have to listen. So we everybody listens, but what comes out of it, really and truly? So listening takes different shapes and forms. After listening comes the process. How are we going to educate people? So, and there are so many ways, Sarah, of how to do this on being on the ground. In fact, GSC Technologies, after Green Vision, of course, because we don't stop at Green Vision, a couple of months ago, we have outlined our initiatives. And how are we going to do this? First and foremost, we want to build a real village. So we're going to create an actual eco village to show people how we should live sustainably. Um, we're going to invest in green talks to continue targeting leaders and businesses. We're going to do awards. And following that, we want to do a green concert targeting the general public. And we are working on another initiative. It's all in place, but we will launch it soon. But again, it's targeting the business community,
Yeah.
the political people, but also the general public, because the general public should be at the focus of everything that we do.
So, what advice would you give to effectively the general public, to anyone that's listening to this talk, as to how they can participate and how they can help to create a more sustainable future?
Well, first and foremost, they have to come to terms with their reality, with their surroundings, and how they can make it better. So I am the leader of Green Vision Summit and Expo. Does that mean that I'm perfect in what I do? Absolutely not. I'm not. I still drive a car because I have to, right? So we have to think how we can be better individuals, not just at the place of work, but when we're communicating with people, when we're communicating with possible business partners, and think of ethical business. Let's say today I read a very nice message from someone uh, talking about empathy economy. I'm like, this is what we're doing, and it is such an important concept, and it made me think like this is what we're all about. And and when you create empathy, uh, because in general we think of profits, but if we start educating, not shying away from profits, because everybody needs to make money, right? But how can we be better at doing business? And so again, it comes from the self of being at home with your family or loved ones, up to that.
Yeah. So we are getting close to the end, and I've got so many more questions. And maybe we need to do a take two of this, because there's just so much more that comes
Probably.
out when you speak, and I go, oh, we need to ask this as well. But you know, let's talk to the people we want to talk to today. If you're a decision maker, if you're a futurist, maybe you're a sustainability specialist, you're an industry leader, or you're a brand and you've got a brand that's like aligned with GSE's vision, what is your message to these people, Sabrina?
Join us, join our mission. We want to work with people that align with us, that want to send the same message, that have, uh, a goal. So we want these companies, these individuals to align with us, to help us do the right thing, not just for my country, for Malta, because we're just the starting point, but for the rest of the world, because the world needs it. So why not do it? Let's work together. Be part of the green vision, because green vision is not a company. It's not about me, it's not about you, and it's not about GSC, but it's about the people. So, companies, individuals, leaders, I urge them to join us, because it's only together that we can do the right thing. And the message is clear there, because without unity, there's no strength.
So, how can anyone listening kind of get involved? How can they participate in joining you and me in Malta between the 30th of April and the 2nd of May next year for the Green Vision Summit and Expo?
We're offering different ways of how people can participate, or companies or government or entities. So it's either through sponsorship, partnership, collaboration, or even by obviously attending our summit. We're going to have various events surrounding Green Vision. We're also going to have a leadership session that will be a side event, which is quite crucial and important. We're also going to give an opportunity for visitors to see our country, and to visit our heritage, which is so dear to me.
So, in terms of impact measurement and evaluation, how do you envision ensuring that the outcomes and the results of the summit are kind of properly communicated? And what steps are you kind of taking to ensure transparency? Because this is obviously one of the big things about what you're trying to do.
I said earlier that we have to lead by example, and this is exactly it. And this is the reason why we want to monitor ourselves. We're going to create as less emissions as possible, but when it comes to accountability, uh, this is why I said it doesn't stop at green vision. Transparency means that we need to keep the public and our audience informed of the outcome of what has been said. And following that, of course, there will be a program of events to support what we did.
Amazing. So, finally, I want to thank you personally and on behalf of future generations. Thank you for putting in so much effort into creating a better future and a more positive narrative for how humanity can continue to thrive in balance with our natural habitat. Because, you're persevering where others are struggling. You give me energy, but also a lot of other people through standing strong for what you believe in. You're really leading through your values and role modeling what leadership can look like when guided by a very clear vision and purpose. So thank you, Sabrina. And I've loved having the chance to chat to you live today. As I said, there are so many more questions I want to ask you, but we said we'd try and keep this to, 30
Yep.
to 40 minutes. We're heading now towards 40, as we knew we would. But please, get involved. Ask us your questions. If you've got other topics that you want to hear Sabrina talk on, then put them in the chat, because this is what will help us ensure that the narrative of what we're creating is applicable to all and is also informative. Part of what we're doing here is helping to drive this change. So, Sabrina, thank you so much. And is there anything you'd like to say to the audience before we wrap up?
First of all, I thank them for listening through, because it's been quite long, and I really hope that those listening will be part of what we're doing, and I'm sure that they're here because they believe that this resonates with them. So let's get the word going around now.
Well, we've got some great comments that you can go and respond to after this. If you want to get in touch with Sabrina, you can get in touch with her clearly through LinkedIn, and you'll find all of her details. And obviously, please go and have a look at the GSE and Green Vision Summit and Expo website. and look at the ways you can get involved, because Sabrina and I would love to both see you in Malta next year. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.